Good.
So for this off season, do you feel like it went faster, slower than last year? Just comparatively, from last game to here, how do you think the off season went for you?
Yeah, I feel like it flew by. I trained here this off season, so yeah, before you know it, now we're starting off season. So excited. It's always fun getting back, seeing all the guys. Got a good workout in today, so just got to keep stacking, build off for next season.
Tyler, after last offseason, there's so many changes on the offensive line. How happy, even if McCary left, but to keep Ronnie Stanley, knowing how important he is at left tackle, how good was that for you to see that, knowing it wasn't going to be another offseason where it was so much turnover?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have a Ronnie back, a player his caliber, playing at a really high level. He helps our team out tremendously. So, excited to have him back. Obviously, Pat going on to Jacksonville, excited for him, his opportunity there. The more people you can get back, I feel like the better it's going to be. Obviously, there'll be pieces that we add, but, we have the foundation. Now we just got to keep building off of that.
Tyler, have you had any conversation with the front office about the fifth-year option, which is deadline's coming, along with a potential contract extension?
Yeah, no conversations yet, and let my agent handle that. I'm just focused on just becoming as good of a football player as I can be for this team. Just coming in here every day and put my best foot forward and let all the other things take care of itself.
Did you take note of the Juergens deal that was signed today?
Yeah, I mean, I was just made aware of that. He's obviously one of the best centers in the league, a really high caliber player, so excited for him.
Is that something you'd like to have? Whatever happens, doesn't happen, et cetera, have some clarity before the start of the season, just so you can put it out of mind, I guess?
Honestly, I'm really not even focused on that right now. That's why we have agents. Neil Cornrich will handle that all for me, and like I said, I'm giving my all to the team right now, and that's my focus, and that's how it should be.
You guys have been close throughout your time here, not quite getting to the hump where you want to get to in the Super Bowl. After some reflection, is there anything you pinpoint to, like, that's what's keeping us from getting where we want to go?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can get better at as a team collectively. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, and we're in these big games and those situations, we got to be playing our best football. And obviously, I don't think we did that against the Bills. Just costly turnovers. But at the end of the day, we're right there towards the end of the game to where we have a chance. So, just got to build off of that. Get over that hump, and I'm confident with the group that we have, the guys that we have on this team, and I'm excited to build off of that.
Was it emotional for you a little bit, knowing how close you've become when Patrick signed elsewhere and you realize who's no longer going to be back in your locker mate?
Yeah. I'm excited for him. Obviously, it's going to be a little different without him. He's helped me tremendously, my first 3 years. But I know he's going to kill it down there, so super happy for him.
I know most offensive linemen by nature are pretty humble, but is there any kind of new pride in seeing how many teams want to do what you guys have done, what the Eagles have done, and invest in the offensive lines, that you kind of have that foundation for a championship level offense, championship level defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think, games are won in the trenches. I think, defense and offensive side of the ball, you have to have really good players, and you have to play at a high level. You saw in the Super Bowl, 2 really good O-lines and D-lines going at it. At the end of the day, it's a tough position. You got to do everything possible to be elite at that position. You got to be obsessed with getting better, and that's what makes a position so fun. So, I think it's not an easy position. It's something that has to be worked on, and the more elite players that you can have at that position, I think the better your team's going to be.
Tyler, as key parts of a tush push, have you and other linemen been following the debate at all this season?
No, is there a debate?
Yeah, they're trying to ban it, or some people are trying to ban it.
Honestly, I mean, I love the play. I'm sure defenses don't, but anytime you can excel and have a high percentage on short yardage, and if that's the play that you go to, then I enjoy the play. So.
Last year, last offseason, you guys had to replace 3 starters along the offensive line. This year, it seems like only one. How important is that continuity along the offensive line to be able to stick with those same 5 guys?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think whoever's in there has to play, no matter what, we're expecting to play at a high level. Obviously having Raj step in and, play at a high level like he did last year was super big for us, especially being a rookie. That's not an easy thing to do, especially guys in our division. Super proud of him. And, obviously those guys who, played their first year, we got to expect another big jump. And the guys, who have been playing have to take another step. Anytime you can get more reps together, I think the better off you're going to be. But at the end of the day, the 5 guys that are out there have to be playing at a high level to, make things go.
Speaking of guys taking steps, what did you see from Andrew Voorhees last year? I know obviously he had the ankle injury early, and then Pat stepped in. What did you see from him last year, and what have the conversations been in terms of him, being in that mix to start there next to you on the left side?
Yeah, Andrew's a starting caliber player. Obviously the thing with him, just obviously coming off the knee injury, I think OTAs last year was the first reps he's gotten in like 2 years. So he's just making jumps and jumps each and every day. I thought he played at a high level for the games that he was in, and then obviously dealing with the ankle injury was unfortunate. He's another guy that have the utmost confidence in when he steps in there that he's going to play at a high level.